Hi, my name's Frank Valenti, Director and Buyers Advocate at Advantage Property Consulting. Well, today I'm going to focus on how to get the price right when you're negotiating. Negotiating is definitely an art, and we've negotiated thousands and thousands of property deals over the last 20 years as buyers and sellers advocates. So the first things that are really important is to try and find out where the vendor's situation is. So try and find out as much about the vendor as possible, and that's by asking the real estate agent some questions, such as why is the vendor selling, what is their preferred settlement terms, have they got a specific date, to find out whether they've hopefully given you some clues about whether they've bought something else, if they give a specific date, what sort of money they're after, what the agent value the property at, and also sometimes just knowing a little bit about their situation in terms of whether they've lived in that property or it's been an investment. People can be a lot more emotional when they're selling when it is a property that they have lived in. So just try and get as much information about the vendor's situation, because sometimes it's not about the price that the vendor gets, but sometimes about the settlement terms and about who they're selling to, because they can be quite emotional and they might want to sell to a buyer that they really like and want to look after their property in the future. Then I would focus on asking the agent some questions to get a bit more information about the property and what sort of offers they've had, how many buyers have had repeat inspections and asked for building reports, so you can get an idea of the amount of interest there is in this property. Also, what the agent thinks the property will sell for, what they personally think the property is valued at, what some of the other comparable sales are. So try and get as much information about the property as you can. Ask about how long it's been on the market, ask about what the vendor's motivation is. Try and gather up as much information as you can, so that will help you in terms of pitching your offer and trying to negotiate the best possible price and the best possible terms for you. Lastly then, when you're making your offer, it's really important to try and make an offer that will give you the best chance of buying that property. And that's usually by ending the offer in an uneven number. Shows that you might have pushed yourself to the limit. Instead of 650,000, you might offer 654,000. Also, you make the offer subject to no conditions, because if you start to put conditions in there like subject to finance for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, then the owners generally won't accept those offers. So do your due diligence beforehand, get your finance approved, get a building report done so you can make the offer unconditional. Also then try and create a deadline for the offer. So give them a deadline of say 12 o'clock the next day, so they're not able to shop around your offer to other buyers for a long period of time. And always have another property that you're using as leverage when you're making that offer. So saying, we're also interested in 20 Marine Parade St Kilda, for instance, a specific property. If we don't get this property, that's our first preference, yours, but if we don't get it, we'll go for the other property, so it creates that fear of loss. So there's some tips when you're negotiating. You need to ask lots of questions. It's great to turn up to lots of open for inspections and see who the other buyers are, listen to conversations, and hopefully that will put you in the best position to negotiate the best price when you're buying a property. Please don't hesitate to get on our website, check out information about our Buyers Advocate, Sellers Advocate, Property Management, and our group block purchases, as well as subscribe to our free weekly and monthly market updates. We look forward to seeing you next time.